Brought to you by 1AAuto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet.
Hi, I'm Mike from 1AAuto. I hope this how-to video helps you out. And next time you need parts for your vehicle, think of 1AAuto.com. Thanks.
In this video, we're going to show you how to replace the exhaust manifold bolts. This is a 2002 Chevy Suburban. It has the 5.3 liter, but these manifold bolts are prone to breaking on any 5.3 liter or 6 liter GM truck or SUV, and especially more prone when you use your vehicle to tow and stress the engine more. The items you'll need are a new bolt set from 1AAuto.com, 10 and 12 millimeter sockets, a ratchet with an extension or with a couple of extensions, shorter and longer, a large pry bar, locking style pliers, a regular pair of pliers, torque wrench, and a 12 millimeter wrench. On our truck, we're going to be working on the left-hand or driver's side of the engine, and you can see the very back bolt. That's my broken one. As I put the screwdriver down there, there's actually no bolt head. You can see that. There's no bolt head there. You want to remove the other 5 bolts that hold the exhaust manifold on. I'm pointing them out there. There's 3 that are easy to see, and then there's another one further forward, and another one even further forward that's a little tougher to video. I like to remove these while the engine is still hot. And when you do that, just gotta be careful. So you see I have a 10 millimeter socket and a ratchet and a longer extension. And once you get it on there, you can hear I broke it free. My experience has been while the engine is still hot, it's easier to break those free. So you can remove the bolts and then let your engine cool down to do the other steps. And depending on which bolt, you may have to use a shorter or longer extension. And if you do have to remove that rear one, which is broke on mine, you may actually even have to use just a 10 millimeter wrench and another wrench to break it free. And actually, once they come out most of the way, then they come out fairly easily. And once you have the bolts out, then I'd recommend removing all of your spark plug wires. You want to grab onto the wire on the plug end and try and twist and then pull as well. A large set of pliers can help do this as well, but you definitely want to try and twist the boots and break them free from the plug, as well as pull them down off of the coil. Okay, once you have the bolts out, you'll see the manifold will pull away. You might want to use a pry bar or have a friend help you pry that away, and then take locking pliers and get them locked onto that stud as well as you can. Okay, apologize, not the best shot, but you see the red handle that's right in the foreground. That's the pry bar I got put in there just to give myself some extra room to move. And I'm just going to get in there with my locking pliers, and basically this is the hardest one because it's in the closest space in the back, but I can basically just turn that stud 1/8 of a turn at a time, unlock the pliers, relock them on, and keep repeating until the stud feels like you can move it with your fingers. In this shot, I'm kind of prying out and get my fingers down in there, and I am taking that broken stud out of the head the rest of the way just by my fingers. Final 1 or 2 threads you can get out with your fingers. And there it is. Okay, here you see the old bolt on top. I am missing one. I dropped it. And the far left one is the broken one. And the new kit from 1AAuto comes with 12 bolts, which is enough to replace both sides. And I definitely replace the ones, all of them on the side of the bolt that or the side of the manifold I'm working on. Good idea just to replace the ones on the other side too. And here's a trick for reassembly. I'm going to pry out the manifold, and I actually have the broken stud. I'm going to put that into one of the holes that's really easy to reach. So I pry it out, I put the broken stud just a couple threads into the one that's easy to reach. This is going to allow me then, I'm going to grab my gaskets and pull out or pry out on the manifold again. Put the gaskets onto that stud, and that stud's going to hold them in place, and I'm also going to be able to line the manifold up onto the stud as well. From up above, you can see the gasket is on the stud. And unfortunately you can't see it here, but I reach down, grab the manifold, and pull it into place and get it on the stud. Okay, so there's the manifold lined up on the stud. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a jack and lightly just jack up the exhaust on that side. This helps. You may not need to do this, but on this one it was just kind of sitting a little low. That helps get the manifold into place, and then I can start threading in all the bolts in the other holes. Okay, once you get those preliminarily in, then you can unthread that stud. And remember, you just want to put that stud in a couple of turns, that way it's pretty easy to get out. And then use your socket and ratchet, and you can tighten up all the bolts preliminarily. Now use a torque wrench. Start with the 2 middle bolts, tighten those to 15 foot-pounds. And anywhere from 15 to 18 foot-pounds. 2 middle ones first, and then alternate, go back one, then go forward one, and back to the last one, and forward to the last one. And that last one on ours, I actually couldn't get a torque wrench onto, so I'm just using a 12mm wrench. The heads on our bolts are 12mm, and I'll just use that wrench and tighten it up as tightly as I can with that shorter wrench, which usually gets you right around 15 to 20 foot-pounds. And once you have the manifold all tightened up, then put your spark plug wires back on, push them onto the coil, and then make sure you work it really well onto the spark plug. Push and twist and turn a little bit until it clicks on. Thanks for tuning in. We hope this video helped you out. Next time you need parts for your car, please visit 1aauto.com. Also check out our other helpful how-to as well as diagnosis videos.